Welcome back to the Scratch course. In the last lecture, we learned how to make the ball sprite move and bounce when either touching the edges or the paddle sprite. In this lecture, which is the final one for the Pong game, we will learn how to add scores and ball speeds to it. So, to start with in this lecture, let us learn how to add scores. So what we would do is every time the ball touches the paddle, we would like to increase the score by 1, which would be 0 at the starting of the game. So to start, let us go to the variables category and let us click on the make variable and let's name the variable score. Now we will drag this score variable to the top left corner and right click it and select large readout. Now we can see the score there. So we need the score to be 0 at the starting of the game. Let us drag the set score to 0 block right below the when flag click button. We want the score to increment by 1 every time the ball touches the paddle. To do that, let us drag under when flag click block to the coding area. Below the when flag click block, let us drag a forever loop from the controls category. Since we want to check if it is touching the paddle, we will add an if block in the forever loop. And let us set the condition to the touching block, which is in the sensing category. Let us select the paddle option in the drop down of the touching block. To make the score increment by 1, let us bring the change score by 1 block in the variables category to the if block. Now, if we click the green flag and check it out, we can see that the score increments by 1. But sometimes the score gets incremented more than 1. Like, just a minute. Sometimes the score gets incremented more than 1 like this. To fix that bug, let us add a wait until block which is in the controls category right below to the change score by 1. Let us set the wait until block condition to the not operator. And let us set the condition to the not as touching paddle. So what it does is it increments the score by 1 and then waits until it is not touching the paddle. So if we check now, it is incrementing the value just by 1 and not any value more than 1. Now we finished programming the scores. Now it is going to be easy for the player to play. Now, to make it harder, we can make the ball go much faster every time it hits the paddle. To do that, let us create another variable called speed. Let us uncheck the tick mark beside the speed because we don't want the player to be seeing the speed variable's value. Now at first we'd like the speed to be 10. So let us take a set block in the variables category right below the when flag click block. Let us select the speed option in the drop down of the set block. And let us set the value to 10. Now, in the forever loop, instead of moving 10 steps every time, let us set it to move speed steps, meaning the value of speed times it will be moved. So now, there is no change in it because it's going at the same speed. To make the speed increment, we can add a change block even if touching paddle and set the variable to speed. Now, if we check, every time it hits the paddle, it's going a bit faster and it's making a bit harder every time to win. Yes, the speed is increasing and so is the score. Yay! We have completed the programming of the Pong game. Now you can challenge your siblings or friends to beat your score in the game. We will meet you in the next section of the course. Until then, goodbye!